everybody, it's Romania Black, and we're on volume 8 of Attack on Titan's manga, and 8's my lucky number. It's my birthday week. I'm feeling pretty excited about that. So yeah, well, it'll be my birthday week when this comes on Patreon. It will be the week afterwards when it's on YouTube, but I'm really excited. 8's my lucky number, so I feel like volume 8 is going to be a good one because we've got to have the aftermath of Annie's assault on the Levi squad and Eren. We're probably going to have Mercy and Smile. I'm so excited. It's some of my favorite. I think from Crushing Blow on is my favorite part of season 1. Obviously, it's the climax, as it should be, of season 1. So that's really exciting. I'm excited to see what all this volume has in store for it. But yeah, lots of good discussion based with the last volume, both on YouTube and Patreon and Discord. I wanted to bring up Alexander Q pointing out some really heartbreaking things in the last couple volumes. Just the idea that the last time we see Hanji and Eren like so bright-eyed and staying up all night telling stories, and then the next time we see just the two of them alone in a cell, it's season 4, and the attitude is much more somber and much more morose than it was prior. But also a couple other things. One, the fact that Armin was one of the ones in the manga to first figure out Erwin's plans is a nice little bit of foreshadowing that he's going to eventually be part of Erwin's replacement alongside Levi and Hanji. But also in addition to that, the idea of just how Levi and Eren are, and seeing that in the last volume, that Alexander Q brought up a really good point in that Levi doesn't necessarily follow the rules of society, and I kind of made note of that in the reaction, and she was like, well, it's not that he really follows the rules, he just kind of follows people he trusts, and that's Erwin and Hanji because Erwin trusts Hanji, and so thus Levi does as well, and that's a fair point. But we had this really cool conversation where it's one of those things that as the story goes on, Eren kind of mimics Levi in trusting only those that he feels he can. And by the time season 4 happens, there's this really cool shift that starts to take place where Eren trusts less and less people and just trusts himself. He kind of goes, it's like the Levi squad's death shapes Eren to where he feels that, no, I'm the only one that can do this. Put all your faith in me, just like on that trial, and I'll do it. I don't have to rely on anybody else. And he kind of goes the solo route. Whereas Levi, interestingly enough, as the series goes on, he starts to trust more and more people. He starts to trust members of his group, and he starts to trust other members to stay alive. And Levi, it's rather interesting to see what each of them do. But Levi kind of goes on his own a little bit in savagery. So that's interesting. He puts more trust in others, but also keeps himself like above water. And I have a feeling once we get to the events of season 4, part 1, and especially savagery, there's going to be a lot of discussion. It's going to be really fun. I can't wait to see that in the manga. I honestly can't wait till we get to Zeke in the manga. I've been waiting for that for like the last 3 volumes, even though I know it's a long time coming. So that's really exciting, but we'll see, right? So I wanted to give a quick shout out over on Patreon for our philanthropy tier before we start. These people help support me in buying the manga that I'm about to read and talk to you all about, as well as the streaming services, the software I use to upload and record, lots of things like that. So obviously I'm very thankful for every patron that supports me, whether it's through the $1 tier and getting on the Discord, whether it's for seeing everything a week early on the $5 tier, or whether it's through the philanthropy tier. I'm very grateful. But one of the perks of the philanthropy tier is that you get your name mentioned in videos like these. So I wanted to give a special shout out to Edgar, to Dana, to Nameless Monster, to Anime Annie, to Truck, to Tyrone, to Kenny, to Arjo, to Shimoyama, to Be Happy, as well as Translucent Men, Eric, and Sunspots. Thank you all so much for all of your support. I really, truly appreciate it. And I'm very, very grateful to have you all supporting me to make videos like these. So all of my love. But yeah, so I'm really excited. I sat down tonight and was like, I don't know what I want to react to. And then I was like, oh no, wait, I do know. And that's Attack on Titan. So that's what we're going to do. But I'm so excited, y'all, to go through this volume and talk with you all about it. I hope you all are as well. So we're going to go ahead and start Attack on Titan Volume 8. And we're going to do that here in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Now, I like this cover a little bit more than last cover. I was giving last cover a little bit of flack because it was, didn't portray Annie in a good light. But here, right on there. And again, at this point, if you were picking up volume 8 and you hadn't read the chapters that were within this volume already, you'd probably be thinking to yourself, that kind of looks like Annie. So at this point, I'm really curious. Alexander Q and I were talking as well in the comments about how the anime kind of made it a little more obvious that it was Annie, whereas the manga, Isayama does a pretty good job up until now of hiding the fact that it's Annie, right? It starts to get a little bit more and more noticeable as it goes, but he hides it pretty well. I also love that Mikasa is right in between them. It's great. Grin. Oh, we call it grin instead of smile. Okay. Mercy, wall, and soldiers dance. Oh, are we getting the rest of the volume in here? Are we? Oh shit. Oh well, we just took out half the board. That seems almost cruel putting them in on this character introductions. Well, yep, they did not have anything under their names, so they were sure to die. I just love that Grisha's still there. It kills me. And Marco being there, which it makes sense for Marco to still be there. He's a driving force, but Grisha, he's a driving force too. He's catty corner Eren on that sheet, but just, oh my God. Yes, okay, so we are going to go back and see Annie. Wow, okay. And the booze bottle, the boots. Girl, her room looks like she just did a walk of shame and came back, which she kind of did. So, oh my God. All right, so we get Walshina in the Stohess district. And man, the wall church, the church behind the wall, yes. Seal the gate. Defile the wall with human hands even further. Oh my God. And then he has the jangly. It's one of those guys who worship the walls as gods. Don't go near him. Interesting. That is one aspect. We've talked about this in the reactions. That is one aspect I do kind of regret that Isayama, and again, I'm only on volume 8. We have lots more to go. And I don't want to know. I don't want to be surprised. I want to be surprised. But one thing I regret from the anime is that we didn't spend a lot of time with like the more religious angle of it, which again, Isayama's got enough to deal with in terms of like the plot and everything. Did we need to go into like an existential route with it, like some spirituality with it? I think you could have, especially with Ymir and all that, but maybe that was too much on his plate. At this point, when we were introduced into the wall cult and all that, I expected more from them. And on the one hand, I get why they were kind of a red herring, because you think there's going to be this big subplot with the religious angle of it, like with Pastor Nick, and then Pastor Nick is like offed immediately, and we're like, oh no, wait, never mind. We have bigger fish to fry than this storyline. So on the one hand, I kind of respect Isayama for going that route. But on the other hand, I almost wish that he had spent more time with kind of the religious angle of it. I think there's a lot that could be done with that in this story, but then it probably would have been like 10 volumes longer. Isayama was like, I don't want to do it. Not going to touch it. We're going to do separation of church and state right here. And I'm like, fair enough. Also, anytime I see the bench that this man is sitting on, I think of Eren in season 4. Just thinking of it. All right, Stohess. Oh man! Hey! We get all of these wonderful characters, all seeing them for the first time. Man, they look so short. It's crazy this first time we see them. You've been slacking. Man, I love that we get the military police right off the bat. Right off the bat. All right. Hitch. Oh, Hitch. I've missed Hitch so much. I'm glad we're seeing her for the first time here. And Marlo. Man. And then everybody shows up. Yep. No salutes. It's interesting that they say no salutes when that's like the thing that it just clearly shows the very different leadership that happens throughout this, because you have on the one hand Erwin, who's, devote your hearts and very gung-ho and serious about it. And this guy's like, no salutes. We don't need none of that jazz. It's a very different style, and it's so obvious. It's interesting, right? And then the Survey Corps party to the Royal Capitol. And then Annie's like, oh, ho, ho, what is this? You'll be given temporary permission to use your maneuvering equipment inside the city. What will you be guarding the convoy against? And the guy says, beats me. He doesn't know. And then, yeah, Marlo's sticking his nose. I'm also like, Marlo just dying in season 3, like, you expected Marlo to have such a huge plot, and he does have a pretty big plot, especially with Jean, but man, I expected his character to go so much further, and it does not. And I expected Hitch to die this season. I expected Hitch to die in season 1. She wasn't gonna make it. And then she ends up outlasting almost all of them. Like, damn it. What is this? And then Annie there. Reliable. You seem reliable. I'll leave this to you. Handle it on your own. And then they're playing cards behind the door. I love Isayama's very flagrant, obvious, notion about the upper management in law enforcement. It's like such a blatant commentary. It's handled very well. I like it. And poor Marlo, Marlo is what Marco would have been if he went to the military police. I'm 100% sure of it. Yep, handing command off to recruit with less than a month in the brigade. Marlo is like a more uptight Marco without Jean in the military police sort of thing. And yeah, this place is more rotten than I thought it'd be. But that's why I chose it. Everyone gets shoved off when you're a rookie. I love how Isayama draws Marlo. It's kind of different than anybody else in the series so far. It is different. It's unique. I don't know if it's the line work, if it's the black under the eyes and the pupils and everything, but Marlo's drawn somewhat differently, which is interesting. You'd be no different from the moment you chose to be an MP. I am different. I'm not like any of you, and I'm not worthless. I came here to clean up the military police brigade. It's interesting. Annie looks back at him like, what's your deal? Cleaning up the system? What's that all about? You sound somewhat familiar, perhaps. And then, I love Hitch being like, oh, you're one of those guys. I'm going to go to the top. And until I get there, I don't care if I have to act worthless. I'll do anything it takes. But once I do, everything's going to have to work for every cent of their pay. You know what's kind of interesting? What's interesting is that as Marlo's talking about this, it reminds me of what Shaddis was telling the guys that were following, like the Jaegerists, when he was telling the young recruits when the Jaegerists were surrounding him. He's like, you do whatever you have to rise through the ranks, get to the top, and then change the system. Like, Marlo was kind of the prototype for that, right? Marlo was the initial one to promote that idea of rising through the ranks, and when you get to the top, then you make that change, but you do whatever you have to do to get there. That kind of is exactly what Keith was telling all of the other guys in the Jaegerists back during season 4. So, wow, that's interesting. She says, do you think that because something awful happened to you or your relatives? Not really. It's common knowledge that this evil is everywhere, isn't it? I like that Annie kind of looks at him when he says that. Like, she was saying, like, oh, you're just saying that because you've lost family. And he's like, no, but evil's in every system and is corrupt like this, right? And she's like, you're not wrong, right? I'm not saying they should die, but I'll make them feel shame. They'll learn that a man without reason is no different from an animal who defecates wherever it pleases. I'm just going to return them to being normal humans. That's all. The way a man is meant to be. I love that frame, that panel where Annie's just like, you have these lofty ideals and you want to do what everyone says they want to do, but it is not so easy. Oh, I love it. I love it. And then Hitch just cracking up. Yeah, uh-huh. That's an admirable goal. I hope you work hard to accomplish it. Is it really? I think when good people like you manage to take control, that's when it's all over. Oh, and we get Annie's view on this. You're an upright person. What you say is right. I know that people like you exist. And that's Eren. Yeah, going against the flow. It takes a lot of courage, and I respect that. People who can do it just are, maybe people who can do it are just stupid, but I'm sure that people like that are rare. So you can't call them common, and you can't call them normal. People like you get called special. Oh, I love that. I love the way that's phrased there. Yeah. And he's like, you are just like Eren in that you want to go against the flow, but what does that do when people like you take control? So what should we call people like us then? People who put their own interests ahead of others. People who go along with it when they see injustice. What do you call them? Worthless or evil? For when I saw the training corps, it was mostly made up of worthless, evil people who wanted to be in the military police. I do think we're worthless, and we're definitely evil. You can't call us upright, but doesn't that just make us regular people? She brings up a really good point here, and I really like this, especially in the parallels to Eren that she's bringing up that are going to come back later. And it's such an irony of whenever people like Eren have the power, that's the problem, right? That's interesting because she's saying like, no, you and Eren are special people. You go against the flow. You're able to, I'm thinking like Standing Outside the Fire by Garth Brooks is playing in the background. That there's a line in that, it's like a 90s country song, and I was raised on 90s country, so the decent country music you can actually listen to. But there's a line in there where people are called cool if their hearts have no scars, or people think that they're cool if they have no burdens or evil. If they're the ones that are special are considered the cool ones. But Annie brings up a really good point. She's like, that's great that you're special, but you're a rarity. You're not common. You think you're fighting for the common man, but the people you call worthless and evil are the common men. So what do you do with that? So if you're in charge and you want to stop all of the evil and worthless people, that means you're going to wipe everybody out, which is exactly what Eren is doing. Which is hilarious. She's like, yeah, if people like Eren had all the power, they'd probably try to wipe out everyone on Earth because we're the common people that are worthless and evil, which is what he's doing. That's so fascinating that what she's talking about to Marlowe here is the argument against Eren later on. That she's like, yeah, we are evil, we are monsters, but do we deserve to die because of that? Does that make you better than us? What does that say about you? So she's bringing up the whole argument against Eren in this chapter with Marlowe, in comparing him to him, saying if people were essentially good, like you say, then the organization wouldn't be as rotten as it would it? It's just structured so it reflects human nature. That's all. So even if I'm the weak person who gets swept along with the flow, I just want you to think of me as human. That's all. That line there, God, it hits me now so much harder hearing it from Annie's perspective with Marlowe. But yeah, just the whole thing with Bertolt, the whole thing with Annie, of someone just hearing them, recognizing them as human, is saying, yes, we've done these horrible things, but that doesn't make us animals. We're still people at the end of the day. We have our reasons just like you do. We're still human at the end of the day. Oh my gosh. And the thing about it is, when Annie says, I just want you to think of us as human, if we get swept along with the flow, that's just how human nature is. Don't think of us as being a rarity. We're common. I feel like her plea there to Marlowe of just wanting to be thought of as human is something that Eren can't do during the rumbling. He can't think of anybody else as human. He thinks of them as animals because it's easier to kill them that way. But Annie's like, no, the people you're destroying are humans just like you. You just happen to be in a position of power. Oh my gosh. Hitch, that all? You talk too much and you're boring too. Hitch. I didn't like her in this episode of season 1, and she grew on me in season 3. God, I'm just going back and seeing her again. I really like Hitch. Hitch is great. She's great. And then I like that Marlo's like, upright, huh? Like, that's all he gets out of it. So there are flaws in a system that assumes all its members are upright people. Could it be it's not the people that need to change, but the system? Boom, boom, mic drop! It's not the people, but the system! Yes! Yes, that is, you're touching into the themes of the story. Right. And it's like, yes, Marlo. The answer to that question is yes. The system is what needs to change. And I feel like going into season 4, we're going to talk about this so much when we get to it, but it's just reminding me that seems to be what was slowly trying to be changed over time, is that the system isn't something you just immediately, well, you can immediately wipe it out if you really want to. But Armin and the others were like, okay, we need to change it kind of from the ground up, but it's in baby steps. You can't just make a dramatic shift like that. And Eren's like, hold my wine glass. I'll go do that. And it's like, But yeah, it's not the people that need to change. It's the system. Truer words have never been spoken. Yep. But we've talked for too long. We've got to head out. Gonna handle this mission. Oh, and there's Armin. Wow. So we just cut right to it. Cut right to Armin there. Armin. Already a full-fledged MP, I see. Look at him with his big old eyes, with his big old eyes. Oh, Armin. Oh my God. My Annie and Armin shipper heart is great. I also like this one guy in the MPs, kind of looks like Discount Armin. Looks like Clover Valley Armin up in the corner there. It's a great time. But yeah, I love that Annie and Armin are about the same height here. What are you wearing? It's a porter outfit. The rain gear is to hide my maneuvering equipment. And she's like, what's wrong? Can you come with us and help Eren escape? I love this because it's just paralleling all the things that are to come between them. And she's like, escape to where? Where will he run? We're going to hide him temporarily. We don't intend to defy the monarchy openly. It looks like an act of insubordination, but we're buying some time to gather materials we need to change the council's opinion. Promise! Scout's honor! Says Armin. Change their opinion. What's your proof? I can't tell you. Oh, yep. Do your best on your own. These guys are trying to save themselves without knowing it. They're heading down a path that's going to doom humanity. And knowing what Annie knows, this is fascinating that she stops to hear him out. I know what I'm saying isn't convincing, but that's left to me. It's one big gamble. And Armin's not a gambler like Erwin, right? I'll do what I can to keep from getting you in trouble, but I need someone to help pass through the walls through Sheena's checkpoints. This is my only option. And Annie with her bleeding heart. She can't resist helping Armin. Do I really look like such a good person to you? I don't like that. I've always wanted to go back to this conversation, so I'm glad we're doing it now. I don't like that phrase. That's just what you call someone who acts in a way that benefits you. I don't think anyone can act in a way that benefits everyone, which is true. You can't be a good person to everyone. Even if you're being helpful to one person, you could be a bad person to someone else. If you're not going along with this plan, that would make you a bad person to me. That's such an interesting way to phrase it. So Armin's like, I don't like that calling you a good person, because that incites that you're just doing something to benefit me, and that's why I think that you are such. So he's like, if I say you're a good person to me, someone may say you're a bad person because you're not benefiting them. But he's like, what Armin's saying is, I think that if you're not helping me, that shows that you don't have any faith or loyalty in me. And yeah, that'd make you a bad person to me. Like, this is something I'm asking you. I'm not asking you on behalf of the military police, on the Survey Corps. It's from me to you. Ooh, and I love that it's treating Annie like a person, saying, no, you're a human regardless, but, you know, we benefit each other, right? That's such a human thing. And then she says, fine, I'm in. And she has the ring. Yep. Oh man, the one ring to rule them all. And she like puts the ring on, you know. She doesn't disappear though. That's such a great double spread. I love that shot of Armin and then Eren and Mikasa. Ooh, Eren and Mikasa look really good in that shot. I really like that picture of them. Okay. And then yeah. And so they put Jean in the okay, Jean in that wig looks ridiculous. Jean in that wig looks absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. In the anime, it looks pretty convincing, but that looks terrible. That looks like such a bad toupee on Jean. Oh my god. And then Eren being like, he and I look nothing alike. I love that that's such an ongoing, like, there's not a lot of jokes in Attack on Titan, but I love Isayama's one ongoing joke is that Eren and Jean are constantly like, we don't look like each other. Like, they're both good-looking people. I don't know why they consider it a bad thing to look like one another. Oh my god. I don't have a horse face like him. And then Armin says, you have similar builds and terrifying glares like villains. How about that? If I hadn't helped you, how were you going to get past the wall? We would break through with the maneuvering equipment. Uh-huh. And Armin rattles off some long-winded explanation of how they would get through it. And Annie's like, okay, sure. I'm feeling a little suspicious, but sure. And then they're going to go there. Man, this happens so quickly. It doesn't happen quickly in the anime. It feels like it takes forever to get to this point. But here we are. It's safer than walking above ground. But Annie's not going to do it. I'm scared. I doubt a brave, suicidal blockhead like you could ever understand the feelings of a feeble maiden like me. Oh. And here's the thing. Armin is good at keeping his cool. Eren is not. There's nothing feeble about a maiden who can flip a huge man 360 degrees through the air. Stop being stupid. We go above ground or I won't help. And yeah. And Eren just can't keep his cool. Damn it. I haven't seen a single person around us for a while. Yeah! And then there's everybody. Why should he keep his voice down? Armin, that really hurts. When was it that you started looking at me like that? Oh my god! Ah! And then that's when Armin asks, why did you have Marco's vertical maneuvering gear? And then gets revealed. Yep. And Eren didn't know that. Eren was like, wait, what? He fixed even the smallest scratches and dents. I remember doing it with him so I could tell. And she says, I just found it. Those 2 Titans that were captured, did you kill them? Maybe, but if you thought about that a month ago, why didn't you do anything then? Ah, that look of betrayal on Armin's face in that page. That look of betrayal that Armin's like, I didn't want to think it was you, Annie, but I thought it was you. And now, again, Drag Race, All-Stars 2, you were that girl I thought you were. Oh my god! Even now, I can't believe I made a mistake somewhere. I want to think that's why. But what about you, Annie? It's because you didn't kill me then that all of this is happening now. Oh, that's such a good reveal! Where you don't see her face as the Titan, but you know. Just the shadow on the ground. Deep down, I never imagined you'd end up cornering me like this. Why do I do that then? And then Eren Oh my gosh. You can prove by just coming underground. Get in here and give us proof. Oh, Eren, but you wouldn't believe that she's not. That's a weird drawing of Eren. Eren looks kind of weird there. I don't know if it's the hair or the nose. Something about Eren looks off in that drawing. It's odd. And she's like, no, I can't go down there. I couldn't become a soldier. Oh my God. She's like, I can't play that game. I'm a warrior, not a soldier. Ah! Oh, we can still talk. I love that Eren is like, Eren's trying to command her to do something that she doesn't want to do. Like, Eren's trying to force some authority on her. And meanwhile, Armin's like, what if we talk this over? And then I love that Mikasa's like, nope, no more talking. So God, the way that it portrays the three of them. Armin wants to talk it out no matter what. He wants to resort to violence as a last-ditch effort. Eren just wants to control the situation and make people think what he thinks they should. And then Mikasa's like, screw talk, more action. Like, it's just, that could not embody the three of them more. I love that. God, Mikasa, I'll slice you to shreds all over again, female titan. Like, she knows. She's like, you had Eren in your mouth, damn it. No one gets to have Eren in their mouth except me. Annie. Oh my God, the smile. Oh. And we haven't seen Annie smile up until this point. Oh. Poor Armin, that face. Armin, I guess you were lucky that I was a good person to you. It looks like your gamble paid off for now. This is where mine begins. Oh my God, that's such a good page! Oh, that's so good. Okay, and then, the military police. Yep, only 10 individuals with the highest marks go in. Get all of that. 200 MPs are deployed in each walled city. The brigade often comes to conflict with the Survey Corps, whose roots are democratic in nature. Imagine that. Mercy. Oh, Armin. Oh my God. Oh, and then, yep, there's all of them grabbing her. And of course, Mikasa is standing right in front of Eren, like she would. Oh, that shot. That shot where she takes the ring. And God, the fact of Annie looking at Armin, Eren, and Mikasa, and then Mikasa grabbing them, saying she's one step ahead of us. Damn, Mikasa just knowing. Oh, that shot! Oh, look at that business! Oh, man. And then just bodies flying everywhere. Bodies flying. Oh, my God. And just the people and the little kids. Oh. Oh, shit. Oh my God, the people's body parts up against the wall? What? What with the hand? What? Oh my God, Isayama! What? That is terrifying! Oh my God! The people's body parts up against the wall is gross enough, but the hand coming after him? Oh, and it just... Oh my God, the scritch. How'd she injure herself? There's a blade hidden in her ring. It was that simple, damn it. She could tell I was lying from the beginning. There must have been some other way. I like that Armin this whole time is always thinking of, what else could we have done? What could we have done differently? What other way was there that we could have done? Oh, that's just... so good. So good, damn it. And then what are we going to do now? We got to join up with everybody from above. And so then, yep, Eren, you transform into the Titan and help us capture her. And then Team 3, we got to go to Plan B. And then that's when, crap, yep. Oh, man, so in the manga, there's like a lot more casualties right in front of them. Oh, oof, that stomped through. We need to get back. Does she not care if Eren dies? I don't think so at this point. We need to save them. Oh. And of course, Eren sees more people dying. Yep. So just that it was a gamble. She made a whole betting Eren wouldn't die in the process. Annie's desperate to grab Eren. Oh. And then Eren tries and nothing happens. Again, Eren is completely shaped on the death and destruction that he sees and the trauma he sees. Therapists would have made a good living in the Attack on Titan world. Probably wouldn't survive very long, but if there had been enough of them, they could have done some good. Oh, and he's like, I'll do something. And then he's like, at a time like this, you can't turn into a Titan if you don't have a concrete goal. He's like, why are you hesitant to fight? And what is this panel? What is this panel of Mikasa looking like Eren talking to Grisha? What is this panel? Because that image where she's like, are you hesitant to fight Annie? And she's like, don't tell me this late in the game. You think you might be just imagining Annie as the female Titan. Think about what you just saw. Mikasa's face is Eren's when he's talking to Grisha, being like, why can't you fight them? Why aren't you doing it? Oh my God, what the fudge? That's just like, that is mind-blowing. That's the same look, the same, oh my God, the same expression. Did Annie influence Eren, who grew up to influence Grisha, to go back and influence Eren? Mikasa, you're getting caught in the time loop. No! That blows my mind. That is mind-blowing. That angle is the same way. The way that she looks at Eren in that bottom panel is exactly the same as Eren looking at Grisha to convince him. What the fudge? Yes! It's just the one who killed your squad mates was her. Do you think we're wrong? Oh my God. Oh my God. That image of Mikasa is exactly like Eren talking to Grisha. It's the same. Holy shit. I'm doing it, aren't I? And the same thing that Grisha was doing then. What the fudge? They're late. I can't believe a good-for-nothing Erwin would make me wait. The MPs are going to get here first. And it's just Eren and Levi. I'm still not over that Mikasa panel and her eyes being just jet black. What? He's going to have some trouble taking a shit. Huh. Captain, you're pretty talkative today. Someone noted in a comment, and I haven't gotten to it yet to talk back to them, but I was waiting till around this time to see what it was to bring it up. I don't know if it was, I don't remember which person it was. I'll make note of it for volume 9, but they were talking about in their comment how Eren being talkative, or Levi being talkative with Eren. The thing of it is, he's talkative because Levi says, don't be stupid, I've always been talkative. The thing of it is, it's kind of sad, is that Eren's only able to hear Levi now because all the other voices in the room are gone. The Levi squad is gone. So the other voices that would have overshadowed Levi's or drowned him out are gone. So now all Eren can hear is Levi's voice. And that's really, really sad. Ugh. If I hadn't made the wrong choice, things might have been different. Even you were injured. I told you, no one knows how things will turn out. I feel like this is a parallel to season 4 too, because now, damn, I've not watched season 4 part 3 yet. I don't want to know how on the mark this is, but I'm gonna file this away in my brain for later. But just the idea of if Eren and Levi see each other again, Levi is injured. And Eren could be like, did I make the right choice? Because if I hadn't made this choice, things might have been different. Even you were injured in the process. So it's the same thing over again. The crazy thing is, like, back here with the Levi squad, Eren thinks he's made the wrong choice. Levi's been injured and things might have been different. And Levi's like, you don't know how things will turn out, so you can't say that it was the wrong choice. And the funny thing is, you parallel that now in season 4, Eren believes he's made the right choice. Things might have been different. Levi's still injured, but Levi at the end of the day would say the same thing. He's like, no one knows how things will turn out. So we're back at the same thing. And that was always my big deal with Eren and the rumbling, was it was just perpetuating that cycle over again. And this scene here, paralleling with what we end up with later on, like if Eren's like saying, I'm sorry back then, if only I hadn't made this choice, it's repeating the same cycle over again. So just mind-blowing, Isayama. Mind-blowing. Sorry I'm late. And Armin and Mikasa. We found someone whom we suspect is the female Titan. We've got a plan to capture the female Titan once for all. We'll be forced to hand over Eren, and then an execution could be a possibility. But we're betting everything on it. We'll likely not have another chance. And so Erwin lays out his plans of what they're going to do. If we can pull this off, everything will turn around in our favor. Yep. We got this. And I like that Eren's like, we got this! And Armin and Mikasa are like, we're like a step ahead of you. We already know who the female Titan is. We figured this out already. Armin deduced their identity. And we're carrying it out based on his proposal. Yep. Eren encountered the Titan and surmised. And Eren's like, wait, what? That she might have been among the training corps. We believe she killed the 2 Titans that were captured alive. And her name is... Yep. And there it is. With Annie. And that's when Eren realized who it was right before she kicked him. Yep, that's all. It's all there. What made you think that, Armin? I love that. I just love that Armin is the one that shows us how it all pieces together with the warriors, with Annie. Armin's the one that figures everything out, right? At least at this point. She knew what you looked like, but she reacted to the word suicidal blockhead. But the biggest factor in making me think she killed those 2 Titans, it required a high level of skill. She must have used her own maneuver equipment, but she presented Marco's equipment to avoid being caught. Why would Marco be involved? And I like Armin doesn't want to tell him. Like in that image, he doesn't want to tell Eren. He's like, I may have seen wrong, but probably was involved. And like the female's Titan. I like that Mikasa just says, to me, the female Titan's face looked like Annie's. Like Mikasa is just so obvious and on those. She's like, no, she looked like her. That's how I know. Yeah. We don't have any proof, but we're going to do it anyway. I like this idea because Eren's looking at them like, well, what do you mean we don't have proof? Like, well, then what will we do if it's not Annie? And Mikasa's like, then she's clear of suspicion. If we don't do anything, we're going to end up a scapegoat for the guys in power, Eren. We don't really have a choice. I like that Eren... I'm not saying Eren's always been a Boy Scout, although in this image, in that lower panel where he's looking at Armin and Mikasa, he kind of looks Boy Scoutish, like, well, if we don't have proof, what do you mean we're not going to do it? I kind of like that because in this instance, Eren's kind of like, always wanted to do things like when you have solid evidence, right? Eren is kind of a black and white character where he very much makes very absolute decisions like, okay, I know this for a fact and thus I will do this. Eren doesn't really go off of his hunches, and when he does go off his hunches, it often leads to mass genocide. So there's probably a reason it was good that he didn't go off his hunches all the time. But Armin's like, it's so interesting because Armin's like, we have to do something or we're going to end up, as scapegoats, which is so tragic because what Eren learns from this conversation is, and you could argue that Eren learns from this confrontation that, oh, well, sometimes we can't wait on proof. We have to go with our gut and hope that it works out. The thing about it is, though, is that Eren does that, but then you have Armin and Mikasa, who, yeah, Mikasa's was a total guess, but Armin's was based on substantial things he had lined out himself. And so he was like 90% there, right? Whereas I feel like some of Eren's plans aren't following the same type of logic that like Armin's does. They don't have the same type of research that Armin's does, right? Which is a problem. And he's like, how could you suspect Annie? And he's like, doesn't hearing Annie's name bring anything to mind? Didn't you see any of Annie's techniques then? You know it's true. Yeah, it's like, yep, that's it. Annie's the female Titan. Doesn't that mean you have to fight her? Or is it some sort of special feelings are holding you back? And Eren's like, what? No, I'm not attracted to her. That's interesting that Mikasa says, doesn't that mean you have to fight her? That's such a great question, right? And the funny thing is like, at this point, Eren doesn't really want to fight Annie, right? He doesn't want to fight her. But Mikasa's like, no, you have to. Mikasa is like going full on Eren Yeager with Grisha in this moment. And it's kind of sending me. I did not expect this parallel to be like that in your face in the manga like this. But the thing of it is Armin's like, well, I got this plan. We'll leave through the hole of the entrance, and the Titan will have to choose which one of us to deal with. We have to take a chance to escape using the route she doesn't choose. You can't fight her in your real body. And then Eren's like, how are you two able to fight? He's like, but if you do that, one of you is going to die. And Armin's like, all three of us are dead if we just stay here. And Eren's whole thing has always been to keep Armin and Mikasa safe. And so, but the thing of it is, when Eren's like, how are you two able to fight? Like, I always wanted him to have a little bit more faith in Armin and Mikasa, because they've saved him countless of times. And it's like, And he's like, what else can we do? The world is a cruel place. She's like, we don't have any other choice, but we have to do this. And Eren, seeing that, he's like, he doesn't want his friends to be in danger, but that's just how the world is, and there's nothing he can do about it. Or is there? I always feel like Eren never gets the last line of that phrase. He always hears the world is a cruel place, and he sees how we don't have time to find proof. We have to act on half-hearted hunches. Or in this case, I would say Armin's is more than half-hearted. He had pretty solid evidence that it was Annie. But that we can't wait for evidence. We can't wait for all the factors to play in our favor. And we have to take chances that could involve people we know and love being killed. Because that's just the way the world is. But I feel like Eren never hears the second part of that. He always hears the world is a cruel place. And so thus, these things are justified. But I never feel like Eren gets but it's also beautiful too. Like, I feel like Eren never gets the other side of the story. He only sees the traumas of all of these things taking place, but he never sees the beauty of humanity. Eren only gets to see the harshness of humanity, and that shapes how he is. He never gets to see the human side of it, right? And then, Armin and Mikasa on either side. And Mikasa looking at him. Yeah, it is. Ooh, I like that. But I remember some people were spoiling me back when I was watching the anime. They're like, the manga isn't like this, isn't like the anime. And I was like, don't tell me anymore. I want to find it out. And that was like, years ago. And now seeing it, yeah, the world is a cruel place. But see, that's the thing. I kind of hate that because I kind of hate that because Mikasa is expecting him to know the other half of the sentence. Like, the world's also beautiful. Like, when she looks back at him, like she expects him to see that, but Eren doesn't see the beauty of the world. He only sees the cruelty, and he just accepts that his actions just have to fall in line with that, and I hate it. Oh, but that's such a good panel. Damn, that's so good. Oh, that's so good. And she's like clutching her nape to stop it right there. That's such a good panel. Oh my God. And there we go. And there we go. Oh, with the little clothes on the line. Isayama, nice touch. Ooh, wall. Hey, there's Niall. There he be. The escort team and Marlo and Hitch are there. Okay. I like these, like, there's no way a Titan can be here. And Erwin's just like, did I stutter? Erwin's like, did I stutter? Did I say anything that was stuttery? Erwin, what the hell are you up to? Oh, and Levi clenching his fist, being like, you made this choice. Looking very Peaky Blinders with his uppercut there. Levi being like, I hope you chose well. Okay, and then we have the pray to Sheena and Rose and Maria. The three goddesses. I like the one lady that looks kind of like Historia opens her eyes. Feels like this feels like such a Game of Thrones inspired moment where you have all the religious people gathered, and without spoiling, Annie is a church bell. Oh my God. Yep. And then just all these dead people all around her. And she did not mean for this. And the thing of it is, Annie did not mean to land in all of these people that she smushed. Did not mean for that to happen. Right? All these civilians. And then like her jaw growing back. And then they're like, keep the Titan away from the wall. It's trying to go over the wall. If it gets away now, humanity's done for. Oh, aim for the feet. Oh, shit. And then there we go. And then Mikasa just coming in just like a banshee. Just coming in being like, you're not putting Eren in your mouth anymore. Okay. It was my mistake that caused us to lose the corpse's best soldier. Oh. And Mikasa wanting to take responsibility for her actions. I like that Mikasa there is talking about like it's her fault Levi's injured. So, and then we have the clearing. Okay, and then that's when Eren comes in. Yep. I like that Mikasa, she like just turns away casually and is like, oh, hey, Eren, what's up? And then, yep, our last chance to capture him. Okay. She's now one-on-one with Eren. Yep, this is it. And then there's Hanji. Yes, all right. Okay. Annie, you always had this look on your face, like you thought everyone around you was stupid and hopeless, and you seemed bored. Oh, I love this. I love the action shot of her turning around and using the buildings to stop herself, and that shot of her eyes. Oh, Isayama, that's so good. That's so good. Yes. There were times when you came alive, when you got to show off your hand-to-hand skills. They were pointless crap forced by you on your father, but never looked like you thought of them that way. You were a bad liar. Ah! Oh, man. And then the two of them, I love Isayama gets to put his knowledge of fighting MMA skills like to work here with the two of them. Oh my God, it's so good. Like just the way that they're both like going after each other. What are you fighting for? Oh man, what a question. What a question. Oh. Ooh. Like the leg getting cut off. Oh man, then just growing back. What cause was so important you could kill for it? What a question for Eren to ask. What a question. What cause is so important you could kill for it? I mean, Eren's murdering an entire world. What cause could be so important that you would kill for that? That's what's so frustrating too, is that it's like Eren is killing all these people for the sake of this handful of people he cares about. And then he's asking Annie here, what cause could be so important you'd kill for it? And her thing is like, for my family. Just, what do we do with that, right? And it sucks because it feels like there's stuff you can do with it. And it feels like Armin throughout this series and others are trying to figure out, okay, what do we do with that question and the answer to it? But Eren's just like, well, we're not going to think too much about it. Let's just go on with it, right? Oh my God. These action shots are fantastic. I love these so much. Oh, and the head and everything. Oh, and they grabbed the leg. Oh, cut her off. Oh, man. Oh, shoot. Oh, that's so grisly. And then she's going to try to climb the wall, try to scale it. Oh, my God. Yep. But then Eren's going to grab her, right? At this rate, she's going to get away. Oh, she's just like spider crawling up. Mikasa, wait. There's no way you can catch up to her. We have horses on the other side. But yeah. And then that's when Eren goes, oh, no, it is Mikasa! Yes, it is! Oh, God! Yeah, look at that shot! Mikasa! Isayama made Mikasa look so damn good in this volume. So good. Girl! Girl! I love that shot. That may be one of my favorite shots of her. Oh, the lighting. That is beautiful. Oh, and cut it off at the bone. Oh, and then the line. Here's the line. Here's the line. She made it. Fall. Oh, shit. Oh, Mikasa. Girl. Ruthless. Ruthless. Annie, what I did was wrong. I'm not asking you to forgive me after all that's happened. But there's one thing I want to ask of you. Oh, damn. And ripped her head off. So do we not get the cool shot where he takes the arm and flings it into Erwin? Do we not get that shot? Do we not get that? Oh. Oh. We don't get that shot, do we? Man. I don't care if you make the entire world your enemy. Oh my God. Even if every other creature alive comes to hate you, your father will always be on your side. So promise me that you'll come back. And isn't that crazy? Because that's the same thing that has happened to Eren. It's like, even if every other creature hates you and you make an enemy of the world, the idea of someone being on your side, promise me that you'll come back. If that happens in season 4, part 3, if Armin and Mikasa do this same spiel, or if Annie gets to Eren, and is like, you've made the whole world your enemy, they hate you, but we're on your side, come back. Like, if that happens, I'm not going to be ready for it. No. And then she crystallized into the little diamond. She died. It's like, what a foreshadowing to the Warhammer. Just made that little crystallis. Yep. A rumble from the wall. Oh yeah. Oh. Ah, yes! Inside the wall! Shit! Oh, that face! Oh, Mikasa's face! Damn, Mikasa has had some good expressions. Holy shit. Oh. Oh, no, that's good. That's good. That's so good. Shit. I love it. I'm really sad that we don't get the Erwin... the Eren ripping off Annie's arm and throwing it against the wall to Erwin. That's one of my favorite moments in the whole season 1 anime. It's like one of my favorite shots. I'm so sad that that's anime only, but I think that's better than the end credits with the wall breaking apart. That's better. That shot, oh, y'all. Oh. Okay. Annie, what happened? Eren. This is a very, a very slightly homoerotic scene between Armin and Eren. And I'm not opposed to it. Why is the manga making me ship Armin and Eren? I never felt this way in the anime at all. Not once did I ship Armin and Eren in the anime. Maybe almost in Midnight Sun. Almost in Hero. But never really. But I'm already in the first season and I'm like, okay, what is this? I doubt anyone knows yet. Wow. And then like Armin's the one that drug Eren away. How about that? Soldiers dance. What? They can't get through to her. KG, I forgot about him. We gotta get her underground. We don't even know if she's alive, but we can't get information out of her. And they're like, no horses. Mikasa, why is she still up? And that's when they see the thing in the wall. Yes. Oh, that's so crazy. And Mikasa's like, well, don't panic. Don't freak out. Just gonna point this out here. It's a little bit freaky. Oh, yeah, and it looked over at her. Ah! Oh, God. It's alive. Shit. Oh, a titan inside the wall. Did it just happen to be in that spot? Is the whole wall packed full of titans? Are titans all through the inside of the wall? Oh, Pastor Nick! Is this Pastor Nick? Yes, Minister Nick! Don't let that titan, don't let sunlight hit it. Cover it. Okay, yes! Ah! Oh my God. There's no time to explain. I like that Marlo's like, I want some answers. And they're like, you can't handle the answers right now. No. Can't talk to you. And then Hitch is saying, I can't believe Annie's playing hooky at a time like this. Where did she go? And she's like being drugged behind them the whole time. Ah. At least we know Hitch got to talk to her. Eventually find out about it. Like this patchwork quilt that they use to hold it up. Man. We'll start actual pairs once the sun sets. Wow, so we're getting into season 2 stuff already, just at the end of this. Did the citizens see it? Time for you to start talking. Ooh. Why did you people keep quiet about it? I'm a busy man. Oh, I love it. I love Hanji. Hanji ain't playing no games. They ain't messing around. No. What do you think you're doing? This is why your religious group was fervently opposed to strengthening the wall and building underground passages. The monarchy gave you people the right to butt into decisions involving the walls. There's no way you're the only ones who know about this secret, and there's no telling how many do, though. Oh, I love that Hanji has their glasses like up above their head, and I love how Hanji looks in this. Man, Isayama just kicking butt on illustrating Mikasa and Hanji in this. Even if we accomplished were small steps forward, if we continue to give our lives, if it meant that one day humanity would be free from this terror. And see, that's the big thing too. Oh my God. That's the thing too, is that Hanji saying, like, I feel like that's such a big message too, that Eren wants to take these big measures, like these big drastic steps, kind of like what Marlo was talking about, these drastic steps to fix the system. But Hanji and Armin and others are talking about, like, if we just do little small things, they will add up to one day free humanity from that terror. They will eventually add up to each other, right? Ooh. I love it. I love Hanji's just threatening him. Being like, I'll move on to the next guy. What's more important, staying silent or staying alive? Oh. Take your hand off me. Uh-huh. Ooh. Okay. And then Pastor Nick starts spilling the beans. Oh, I'm an alcoholic who lost his family. Nothing but a vile wretch. The only way I can go by living is clinging to God. No matter what torment you visit upon my believers, all greater men and women than I, you'll never get anything out of them. Kill me and learn for yourself. All right, you're dead. Oh, I love that shot of Hanji. Oh my God. So yeah, getting a little bit about Pastor Nick, that he turned to religion to save himself. Just kidding. Ah! Is the entire wall made out of titans? Ooh. Somewhere along the line, I forgot this feeling. I haven't felt it since my first time outside the walls. It's terrifying. Ah, oh my God. Frickin' A, Cotton. Okay. And then we're back to downstairs. There's no window in this room, but there's Jean. Old Jean. Got the wig off. Like Jean there with them. Eren won't be summoned to the royal capital. Annie was the female titan. She wrecked the city and turned into Sleeping Beauty. And there's been Colossus titans inside the wall all this time. Standing there at least a century. It might be about time they decide to go for a walk all at once. Ah! And then John's like, oh, what a joke, Armin, you're lame. That's great. Armin, don't give Eren such ideas. The walls don't have any joints between the stones or any signs of that kind of peeling. I couldn't figure out how they were built. They used the Titan's hardening ability like what we saw with Annie. We were being protected from Titans by Titans. Yep, if it was a joke, it's not funny. Oh, Okay. So in that case, yeah, I remember noting in the anime that when Armin leaves the room, he kind of has like a weird look on his face when him and John leave. And I remember someone saying, they were like, oh, in the manga, it doesn't look that cryptic and creepy. And it doesn't. Like in the manga here, Armin looks pretty normal. So it's like, oh, okay, that he's just like waving him goodbye. And Mikasa's staying there with Eren. Okay, and she just stays there watching him. So yeah, and then we have all of the events. The decision to execute their mission was unilaterally questioned. And then everybody's questioning what's going on. The district mayor, getting brought up in here. We allowed the Titan to escape the wall and the wall to be destroyed. The damage would have been far worse. We acted while taking this into account. Yeah, saying like, yeah, things could have been a lot worse. Do you have any proof that you indeed prevented humanity's demise? You've been able to get nothing out of Annie Leonhardt, is that right? Yep, and she's being sustained underground in the crystalline substance. I liked it again. We talk about proof, right? Eren was like, well, what proof do we have that Annie's the Titan? And here they're like, well, what proof do you have that humanity was saved? And were your efforts in vain? And he's like, no, there is value in simply capturing one of the Titans. There are more. We have to hunt down every last one of them. Our enemy, every enemy hiding inside our walls. Oh, Erwin! Every enemy hiding inside the walls. Yep. And then Wall rose. Okay. This story began 12 hours earlier. Oh, okay, we're already going to get into this. There's Mike. Okay. Really? Oh, and is that, oh, not Nico, but, interesting. It's not a possibility we can ignore. Okay. And then there's Connie and all of them talking about everything about the wall, south of Wall Rose, the hometown, their village. Connie and Sasha are like being twinsies with their heads to their side. And then Sasha's saying, I was told not to come home until I became respectable. Are you serious? And then Reiner's saying he'll help Connie out. And I like the Bertolds in the back, like, what are we promising? Why are we on standby dressed as civilians? Why? We're soldiers. And there are officers fully equipped. And then that's when Sasha can hear it. She plops her head down and hears it. Oh, I love it. I love it. The rumbling, like footsteps. I love she grabs Reiner when she says that. And that's when Mike is like, Thomas, get on a horse and deliver a report. There are no Titans among the 104th Survey Corps. And a horde of Titans is attacking from the south. We're going to start season 2. Wall Rose has been breached. Oh my God. Oh. Yep. And then there they are, coming towards them, and they get the little tent on top. What a weird thing to have a little tent on top of the tower. Oh, shit. And then, you can kind of see the Beast Titan in the back. You can kind of see him looming in the back, like the prototype of the Beast Titan. That's so crazy. I wonder if Isayama didn't have the full rendering of what they wanted him to look like at the time. But that was just like the prototype there in the back. What? And then a sudden slap. Oh, Sasha's slapping Reiner. An unforeseen elbow. Violence suddenly rains down on Reiner for no real reason. Violence suddenly rains down on Reiner for no real reason is the tagline of Reiner's life. That is the tagline of his life story. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow, it's been 10 years since this volume came out. 10 years, y'all. That's incredible. 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 Oh my God. I freaking love that. Violence suddenly rains down on Reiner for no real reason. All right, and so then, wow, around the time that this volume came out was when season 1 was coming out too, around this time as well. Wow. Huh. Isn't that something? Around that time. Huh. That's incredible. Well, that's the collector's edition of season 1. And they hadn't even done season 2 yet. So they took several years between season 1 and season 2, right? Of the anime. So that's so fascinating. I freaking love that. That is absolutely amazing. I am all about it. This volume is one of my favorites. No, the rule of 8 did not let us down. This volume is one of my favorites so far. I love it. I am obsessed. The connections between Mikasa and the way she tells Eren to keep fighting and moving forward, and then we see that with Eren and Grisha later on. Isayama, what are we doing? Like, just that, the artwork, Mikasa and Hanji looked so freaking good in this volume. It's incredible. They look so good. And then just everything about this volume, the action, Annie's emotion, the connections to the themes, like all of it coming full circle. Like, the fact that Isayama has done so much to build up this story, it's just insanity. It's insanity. I'm so floored by it. This is one of my favorite volumes so far. I love this volume so much. I can't believe we're done with season 1. It only took us 8 volumes to get through season 1. Yeah, yeah. I know I'm going to be ending around volume 32 before we get to the events of season 4, part 3. So we still have lots and lots of manga to go, but we've officially crossed a milestone. I really liked the manga version. You know what? Honestly, season 3 and 4 are my favorites. Season 1's so good, but it seems so wholesome and so small in scope compared to where the seasons go to from here, right? Right. It's going to be interesting to go back through the events of season 2 in manga form and see how I feel about them, especially with Ymir and with all the other stuff going on. Ymir was actually not in that last scene with Reiner and the others, so I find that fascinating. But oh my god. So yeah, I'm pretty excited, y'all. Not gonna lie. Pretty excited to see what's gonna shake down, so I hope y'all are too. But I'm super excited to hear your thoughts down below. This volume was amazing, and I'm really excited to dive into volume 9 and start season 2 and see what happens. So in the meantime, I hope y'all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'll be back very soon with more Attack on Titan. Bye.